Hey guys, I want to share something that I've been thinking about for a long time, actually, and especially right now during this time of upheaval and change, and really the whole entire planet is going through a huge shift, and I've been thinking a lot about how this is affecting each one of us personally and then also globally. And one of the things that I've been sitting with is what the difference is between a traumatic event and an initiation. So in all tribal indigenous cultures, children go through an initiatory process. And it's, at the time of between like 11 and 13 generally. And every initiation has 3 stages. And so the first stage of the initiation is where there's a separation from the known world, where the children are taken out of the community, taken out of the tribe, and brought somewhere else. And then the second stage is there's a brush with death or with danger. An initiation is inherently dangerous. And then the third stage of the initiation is when the children are welcomed back into the community and recognized as gifted and as bringing something into the community that is needed and necessary and part of supporting the greater whole. And so these 3 stages have been recognized and kind of clarified by one of my favorite teachers, Michael Meade, who is a mythologist and a writer, and also Carla McLaren talks about it in this book, and you guys know this is one of my favorite books of all time, The Language of Emotions, which is what I was kind of looking at to make sure I said it in the right way. And so when there's an initiation, what's happened is the children are brought up in this community, and they know from the very beginning, because this is something that everybody talks about, that the initiation is going to happen at a certain time, and they know when it's going to be, and it's going to last for a certain amount of time, and they know how long it's going to last. And the people that are holding the space and guiding them are doing it from a place of very deep love, respect, and reverence. And it's always in honor of their inherent gifts and in their inherent dignity. And so so these initiatory processes are very difficult and intense, and what's very curious to me is that they're not, they don't affect us in a kind of traumatizing way. Whereas a traumatic experience is similar to the initiation, in which someone will be taken out of our normal, like, day-to-day lives, right? Like all of us are going through that right now. Like there's been this huge change in how we're all living and experiencing the world. And then there's this element of danger, and in a traumatic experience, it's dangerous. Your life is in danger, and what the trauma is missing, a traumatic experience, is that you don't know when it's going to end. The situation is not for your highest good. You are not welcome back into the community. There's not a safe and sacred space being held for you. And so for me, what I keep thinking about is how we can get through this time without being completely traumatized. And what I think is so important, and this is what I'm doing for myself and for my kids and, for our community whenever I'm holding space, is we hold a safe and sacred space for each other. Even though we don't know when this is going to end, that has an element of danger, right? We all know that there's real dangers that we're being forced to engage with at this time, that affects our health and our well-being, mentally, emotionally, all the different levels of our well-being. And so what I'm doing with my family and also with my community is, holding this safe and sacred space and honoring each one of us as carrying inherent gifts. And I know that each one of us at this time, if we choose to see it as an initiation, can use this time to really tune into what it is that we are sharing, with each other. And I know that we're all doing this. Like, you guys are all here with me, and I see all of you showing up and doing your best to bring something beautiful to the world at this time. And that's a real challenge, because this is definitely a challenging time for everybody. And I know we're all dealing with different circumstances. Some are having, relationship issues, money issues. Like, there's all these different ways in which we're being affected. And so I just want to acknowledge everybody for showing up, and I know that we're all doing it in our own way, and how utterly important it is to keep close to your practices, to staying connected to the part of you that knows how to hold space in a loving way for challenge and for difficulty, and know deep in your heart that in some way it is for the greater good, even though I know it's very difficult to see that. And that doesn't mean we discount the difficulties that people are seeing and dealing with, but we hold that light in our hearts and our intentions to continue to show up for each other and to hold space for the community. And there's going to be times when some of us are going to be really struggling to do that, and then we can gather around each other and hold each other in that. And so I just want to invite you to reach out to each other and reach out to your families and your communities as much as you need to, so that you can stay connected and feel safe. And one of the things that I've been talking about a lot with my people is, when one of us gets into despair or something, it's like, remind each other, like, what do you need to do to just put another log on the fire? We just got to keep the fire, the community fire, burning. And each one of us, just like every day, like, what are you doing to put another log on your fire? Going outside in the woods, taking a bath, whatever you need to do, calling a friend, writing, listening to music, all the things that we can do. So that's all. I just wanted to say hi and tell you that I love you, and I appreciate all of you so much. So thank you.